Let's go. How we doing? I'm going to move my microphone. I'm going to have a lot of energy tonight. I've been eating some gummy bears that I ordered special. They're pretty good. So I've got a little more sugar in me than I normally do, but this CFP pick is really going to set the stage depending on where they put everybody in. It's supposed to start here, I guess, in just another 90 seconds. Um, There is an opportunity here, but I also think it's a backhanded opportunity. By the way, welcome to the show. This is Bomber's Blast. This is where I'm Bomber and Nathan Bomber Brown's my name, and that's where we do editorials. We talk about whatever's going on. And today, last 48 hours, it's been about the CFP, and I've got conspiracy theories for you, and I've got alternate realities here for you. So instead of doing this, I thought it was going to be at 6 my time, 8. Evidently, they're doing it now in just 1 minute. Moen, thank you very much for letting me know that. So I'm waiting for my laptop to start the feed. So I'll have to find out where everybody goes. But this is my conspiracy really quick. Um, there is an opportunity for them to move preemptively, move BYU up to 9 or 10. And it sets them up perfectly. If they lose to Texas Tech again, they drop them out because they were only up a couple spots, right? It's easier to do that and bring in a Miami if they wanted to do that, if they're not going to put Alabama in that spot. So, or they could just continue to freeze BYU, Miami, Utah, whoever else out. BYU is really the only one because they're 10-1. And just you're always going to be on the inside looking out. But I really believe there's an opportunity here where they could come in and say, "Oh, we've listened to you, social media. You guys have taught us a lesson. We need to do better with BYU." They move them up, say, "Ha ha, see, we moved them up." And then you have to play against Texas Tech. And if you beat Texas Tech, great. But if you lose to Texas Tech, they have every easy opportunity to kick you out. Just like that. So we'll have to see. I don't think they have the balls to do that. It's gutsy. They'll deal with a lot more flack, but I think there is a path for the CFP to do this on their own, and then the future would take care of itself. If BYU loses, there you go, your second loss. Lots of team with 2 losses, 1 more win, but we don't care about that. They got the same number of losses, and yeah, we'll move you out. And they don't need an excuse to bring a Miami or Alabama in, do they? They don't need an excuse to do that. They can just do it. And then the rest of us are sort of trying to get our lives in order, right? It's very, very difficult. All of it's very, very difficult. Besides that, I've also got an exercise for us. Yes, we're going to jump back into spreadsheets. Everybody loves spreadsheets. And I'm going to break down how the future could have looked if we didn't start, and this is in particular Austin, a Utah fan. He and I were going back. Really respect him. At least he can elucidate his side of the argument, right? I enjoy that. I enjoy the debate. I enjoy disagreeing. All that's great, and they still haven't started yet. So I don't know if anybody's watching the feed and they get it working. Let me know, and I'll have to do something else. No, I wish. Daniel, you need to send me some of those. No, I don't have any of those. I'm sorry. They sound fun, but no. So alternate reality CFP picks as soon as the real ones are done. And I'm trying to make a point. And I think I have got it about perfect. I do. I think, and it was really easy too, because all I have to do is look who won, look who lost, when did they win, when did they lose, and how did it affect their future prognostication, their settings, where they're supposed to be. So we're going to do that as soon as this CFP pick is over. Keep saying top 25. I have access, but it's not going. Real quick, let's just do a few shout outs. It's early, so not a ton of people on yet, but I think by the time the first hour comes around, you guys there's going to be a lot, like double or triple of you. So let's do some shout outs really fast. Buckshot Kid, good to see you here. Tim Bruckmiller, good to have you here, Tim. You're first. I think Buckshot Kid beat you, but thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube. Skaven Yes. Oh, YouTube's screwing up the names again. Skaven Yes says Moen cheated. He did. He starts the show. So yeah. Nicholso, let's see. Does BYU have the quality wins to get into the playoffs versus other schools? It'll be fighting for those slots. Nick Kelso, we're gonna go through that. The strength of record, strength of schedule stuff that they were bringing in specifically to build up artificially. Artificially, it's just another measurement in the offseason. Right before the season started, they said, "Oh, by the way, we're doing strength of record and strength of schedule now." Well, unfortunately, that's not working out for them because BYU has a 6 strength of record, and it's like 21st or something in strength of schedule, both ahead of Notre Dame, by the way. So it didn't work out kind of the way they wanted to. So we don't even know if they're using it. Don't know at all. And I do have a super chat just popped in from the top row. That would be Earl Carr. Everybody, just so you know, Earl was like sub 1 for our channel. He's been a member for like 30 months or something. Thank you so much, Earl. I appreciate you. Go Cougars. Big fan of BYU, also a valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Says $5 super chat. They won't show respect to BYU due to anti-LDS feelings out there, Bomber. Prove me wrong. Example A, what happened at the Bearcat game Saturday night. Yeah, and I know we get Cincinnati people in here every once in a while. Moen's a Cincinnati fan. There's several of them. Steve, Ojai, Florida is another one. Look, the anti-Mormon chants at games, most of them are college kids doing college kid stuff. What really matters is how the university reacts when it happens. And then I would just tell anybody, if you're playing BYU, you want to heckle them, just say F BYU or say F Cougars. Nobody would say anything about that. It's obnoxious, but nobody would say anything. You say F LDS or you say F Mormons, and now that is bigotry. It's religious bigotry, and it's got to be stemmed out. But you can't say other stuff about other people. Why? I don't know why LDS people would be any different. So we'll see, Earl. I agree with you. I probably think the CFP is not going to reward them, but we'll find out. A few more comments, regular comments here while we're waiting. Let's see. Sorry, I got to go back to the top. Stephen Vitt checks in. Good to have you here, Stephen. Stephen says, good evening. Hi, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope this is my favorite time of year. Basketball, football, soccer, everything's going. So, yeah, it's really my favorite time of year. Anywhere from middle to end of October all the way through, it's still not going. Anyway, Devil Frog in the house. OG, College Football Mafia family member. I can't wait to see the committee's mental gymnastics when the SEC and Big Ten go to 9 conference games. Yeah, that'll break the wheel right there. Frog, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really working. None of this is working the way it's supposed to. Out of nowhere, Earl Carr again gives another valuable College Football Mafia membership. Thank you so much, Earl. I appreciate you. Gifted 1 College Football Mafia membership to Rec Talk, who happened to come in right in the door and got his new membership. Good to have you here, Rec Talk. It's great to see you. Good job on your Georgia Tech show. Watched it, and you're doing a great job. Good to have you here. Make sure you shout out Earl Carr, gave you a new membership. That's really nice of him. Thank you, Earl. You get paid forward. It is a world where karma is alive in our lives. I really feel like if you do things for other people, you get maybe double back. So thank you, Earl. I appreciate it. And again, Rec Talk, you have access to now. All the members have access to all the videos that we have in our library. Some of the best you're ever going to see. Anything about realignment, the way college football runs, influencers, Cody Campbell, Bob Thompson, Jim Williams. We go left to right. We cover everything with the people that we interview and really listen to, because they're the experts. We're just here to sort of go for the ride. So thank you, Earl. Thank you for so much. I really appreciate it. Ron Bates checking in saying the committee must be a live in progress broadcast, so everything discussed available in real time. Well, last week I was able to watch it, Rob. Here I'm on the channel and it pops up and it says you have access, but then it doesn't give me the, let me go back and try it one more time. I'll go back into the gate. Still not working. I'll keep refreshing. Daniel, the other Gygax, says the worst thing to say to a BYU fan is Cougar tails suck. I had one quite yummy. Don't know how anyone can eat a full one. I've never eaten a full one, Daniel. So I'm agreeing with you. I don't know how they do that either. Let's see. Let's see here. Where are we at? Okay, BYU football. That would be Sean. Good to have you, Sean. Appreciate you. He says it's after the game, so there's a game going. And this is why I didn't want to start till 8. It's because they always give out these times and they never end up being right. So what we're going to do, what's the status on the game, Sean? Where are we? Is it 5 minutes left, 10 minutes left? Give me an indication, because there's stuff I can do that people don't just have to sit around. I've got stuff to do. So if you could just tell me how long it was till the game gets over, I'd appreciate it. Devil Frog says, Bluebell Creamery is greater than BYU Creamery. Devil Frog, come on. Come on now. Anybody who's been to BYU Creamery knows it's the best. So I don't know what you're talking about. Bob Swanger in the house representing Penn State, man. You guys got to get yourself a good coach, Bob. Stephen Vitt, looking forward to it. Looking forward to right here, I believe. Stephen Vitt says, Bob Swanger, doing good. I got something special planned in December. That's awesome. Stephen Vitt has his own show on YouTube. And hey, he's doing really good. We tell everybody go to support him, subscribe, follow his channel, all that fun stuff. Earl Carr, another 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Earl. I wish Moen was watching. He could do sounders and stuff, but thank you. I really appreciate it. Another 5 memberships from who is, again, OG member of the College Football Mafia family, loyal to his core. 5 gifted memberships, and they go to K Struthers, Chris G, good to have you here, Chris. Dave Chauncey, good to see you. Anthony Manzano, excellent. Fairways 918, good to have you here. And Hawaiian Bro 808. Make sure you guys shout out Earl Carr in the comment section. Do the @ sign. Start to type Earl. His name will pop up. You can send him a thank you or a message, anything you want. That's extremely unselfish for Earl, giving everybody else access to our library. And maybe later in the show, depending on what's going on, I can give you a quick, perusal of our library. But I would just say when this show's over, just go over to the shows tab on the main screen, and you will see we have well over 100 shows now that we've done. And most of them are evergreen. Most of the stories we covered in the offseason are realignment, legislation, transfer portal, NIL. The list just goes on and on and on. So there's not any. If you guys come across something we haven't covered, please send me a note. Send me a DM on Twitter, and we will cover that. I'll do it the next week if we can. So anyway, thank you so much. And then Earl Carr, man, thank you, Earl. Gave 1 more membership. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough, Earl. I really appreciate it, brother. Matthew Castleton, you also received a new membership. Make sure you give Earl Carr a shout out in the comment section. Thank him for your free membership. And boy, that's how we do it around here, everybody. We support each other. And I just want to encourage everybody to go when the show's over and go into the library and tell me there's a topic we haven't covered, because I don't think there is. And they're all extremely detailed, well put together. All right. I haven't seen another comment from Sean about what the time is left in the game. We'll get to it. Trent Brown, my brother's namesake. Good to have you here, Trent. Trent's been a long time member at this point of the College Football Mafia family. I very much appreciate that. It's going to be another 5-minute reveal show, and the committee won't have time to answer softball questions from ESPN. Yeah, you're probably right. Last week didn't go so well. And it was because the Baylor guy screwed everything up. He screwed everything up. He was the chair of the committee. We had another guy on the committee. We got 3 teams in the first initial rankings. I think that was because he was there. And now who do we have there, Trent? Mark Harlan, the AD of University of Utah, who doesn't want to be in the Big 12, doesn't care if the conference survives or doesn't, and is looking to be with the big boys. So think about it. He can now vote with the Big 10 guy. He can now vote with the SEC guy because I haven't seen much loyalty from him, and he's been in 2.5 years. I guess 1.5 years, right? Yeah, 2 years, I guess. So I'm very frustrated with Brett Yormark's pick. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. Let's see here. So Sean says they're propping up basketball ratings 7 minutes in the second half. Oh my gosh. We're going to be here forever. Okay. Thank you for telling me that. Sean, I'm going to move on to our presentation. If they're in the middle of a basketball game, it's going to take forever. I'm not going to wait here, make you guys wait. Chris, one more comment, and then we're going to go right into my presentation. Virginia Tech just got a 4-star Penn State flip to Virginia Tech over Bama, Clemson, and Ohio State. Here come the Hokies. If you give them money, Chris, you give the program money, and it's taken care of. It's handled like professional. You guys can do very well. And I would expect some more Penn State guys are going to be over there with Franklin. Would not be shocked. And that's one thing. The whole idea of your coach leaves so you can move whenever you want, like you have an instant out if you want to leave your school. I get it, but you're crippling programs in the middle of seasons. I don't know. The timing about all this is just nuts. Anyway, Chris, you guys are on your climb back, I believe, in Virginia Tech. It's a good brand. Okay, we are going to jump into my presentation. And it's because I can. Now, there is one thing Moen hasn't, for some reason, media slot. Moen hasn't given me a full screen option for media, so I'm going to create one really quick. Doesn't need to be fancy, just there we go. Save new layout. So I'm going to pick a new layout here. Everybody can see it. This one. Okay, so you don't need me on there anyway. The banners, I do want to have a banner. There we go. Okay, so what I've done, everybody needs to understand what I'm doing here, right? This is what I'm doing here. Let's set the stage. In fact, I'll come back just for a second. I'll come back and I'll set the if I can come back. There we go. I'm going to set the stage. So I have been saying for decades, get rid of the preseason polls, get rid of the polls up until the 6th week of the season. So you go 5 weeks, no AP, no coaches poll. Okay? Those are the ones that have the most sway. Sagarin and all these others, they're important. But until we go to an all-computer rating system that's unified, we need to pick the biggest two, and that's going to be the AP and the coaches polls, okay? So I've been screaming since the 80s to get rid of the polls. You know why? Because if you get rid of the preseason polls, you can you eliminate immediately the bias. I'm not saying you're not going to have bias later in the season at week 6, but to get to that bias and to validate it each year, you're going to have to fight through a month essentially of games that will prove how good you are or not. That's what this is all about. This is all about you guys understanding that in an alternate universe, if we really track this work for these polls, you'll see where they would end up as a perfect distance. And yes, I am going to pick on Notre Dame. So let's just start. What is it? I'm 517. So we can cut this out of here, Moen. Here we go. All right. I hope you can see this. I can't make it much bigger. Please give me a comment. I am watching comments too, really quick. If you see the playoff thing start and I wasn't watching, although I've got it open, it's just not doing anything. Okay, I'm going to read along what you guys are looking there. I'm sorry it's not bigger. So what we're looking at here, and you can see the titles, the week 1, which I would do away with if it was up to me. There would not be a week 1. But the week one this year, the real week one, starting from the top, Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, UGA, that's Georgia, Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, Miami, ASU, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, Florida, SMU, K-State. I've already caught a couple errors I should have flagged. Anyway, K-State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Indiana was all the way down at 20, everybody. Indiana was at 20, and Texas A&M was 19. Okay, so just keep that in your head. Ole Miss, ISU, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Tennessee, rounded out with Boise State. Okay, so everybody can look at that and say, objectively, there are some really, there's what? How many teams there? Over a third of them, right? There's 25. So there's almost 10 teams that don't deserve a ranking in a later poll. Not certainly where they're at. I'll call those out really quick. Penn State, Clemson, Notre Dame is going to be the exemplar. LSU, Miami. Miami's okay. LSU, Illinois, South Carolina, Florida, Kansas State, and Iowa State and Boise State. So you go into a season, you're like, okay, that sounds fun to me, right? That sounds like something I can really get into. At the end of the day, what we're looking at is, sorry, I got to repost this. We're looking at teams that by week 6 would not be in the playoff, would they? Well, one of them's in the playoff. Miami's outside the playoff, but let's talk about Notre Dame and Miami. You can see they're the two I flagged, yellow and red. So Notre Dame was 6 in week 1. And I'm going to open the phone lines. You guys can call in and tell me where I've got this wrong, but I think I've got it spot on. Track Miami's progress. Miami week 1 went to 10. Sorry, it was at 10. Week 6, they were number 3 in the country. Week 9, they had dropped 1 loss. They dropped all the way to 9. Okay. Week 14, which is this week, Miami's on the outside looking in at 13. And that could change tonight, right? But right now, Miami is 13. Now let's track Notre Dame. Notre Dame started at 6, everyone. Notre Dame started at 6. Now, if we cut off week 1, we do not do any polls until week 6. Where's Notre Dame in week 6? Well, they're still in the top 25, but how many games have they lost? They've lost 2 games at that point. So they're way down here at 21. If we waited and did a poll, the very first poll on week 6, Notre Dame would have been in the 20s. And you're like, well, wait a second. They have all these wins. They didn't have them yet. So why are we giving them the boost from the first poll that keeps them with 2 losses at 21? Right? 2 losses at 21, and BYU's undefeated at that point in week 6. I think they're 5 or 6-0, 5-0, I think. Well, no, week 0. I think they're 6-0 at this point. And I think Notre Dame's only played 5 games, so they're 3-2. So now, let's track really quick. Let's just track Notre Dame's progress. So at week 6, they fell all the way to 21. In my mind, that says you're all the way down at 21. Then they go to, and I want to make sure I get these right, then they jump. After 3 more weeks, 3 wins, Notre Dame jumps right behind BYU still at 12-11. Okay? You following me? So BYU's undefeated. BYU's undefeated, right? This is right before they lost to Texas Tech. So that's week 9. Now we jump ahead to week 14. So we've gone from 6 to 14. That's 8, I guess 9 if you're counting the actual poll. 8 or 9. And Notre Dame was at 12. but they keep winning, and BYU lost a game. Okay, well, they lost a game, so they fall back. But why does Notre Dame jump from 21 to 14 in, what is that, 6 to 8 weeks, and all they've done is just win the regular games? Because there's other teams that have been winning a lot bigger games that are behind them or beat them. Now let's get back to Miami. Look where Miami is. Miami's still behind Notre Dame, even though when they were up here, they were ahead. When they were up here, they were ahead. But you dropped them. This is the change. From week 9 to week 14, you devalued the head-to-head matchup of Notre Dame and Miami. And you say, okay, that only affects those two teams. Why does that matter? It matters because of this. If we were to do a straight seeding and we were just going to take teams all the way through, that's where these news come in. New is if you lost, you dropped. I just moved you down. If you won, you just basically held your spot until somebody ahead of you lost. And as we move from left to right, you'll see teams lose and they drop naturally, right? But there is no way that Notre Dame should go from a losing position to a winning position without winning any other games that matter. You should be, in my mind, it's not so much promoting Notre Dame as it is demoting, Miami, than it is demoting, can't talk. I would move BYU up one. I would move Vandy up one. I would move Miami. Actually, I would have Miami ahead of Vandy. But and then I would put Notre Dame maybe tied with Utah. They would not be up here playing in the playoff. So can somebody explain to me why that head-to-head all of a sudden doesn't mean anything? And why, if we didn't have the week 1 poll, all of the bias that shows up when we finally get to week 6, it's all gone. And we saw that. Notre Dame should have dropped out. There's arguments that Notre Dame shouldn't even have been right here after 2 losses in the first 5 weeks. But fine, whatever. You keep them in the poll. But teams that haven't lost anything, they're the ones who should jump. Miami being at number 3 was not a joke. They were really good at the time, right? Then they hit a bit of a bump and they fell back a little bit. Then they hit another bump and they fell back a little bit. But they didn't fall to the bottom. And the reason they didn't fall to the bottom is because there's teams behind them that all these blue ones just got in the poll at the bottom. They just got in this first week's poll. They show up. Might have been in last week's too, a few of them. But these 6 teams, Georgia Tech's in there because they lost. These 6 teams all have 2 losses, 1 loss. But then you can get into argument, well, Tennessee, have they played anybody? What's their schedule? And if they have 2 losses and USC has 2 losses, I think USC now has 3 losses. But if they both are sitting on 2 losses, you can make an argument USC should be ahead of Tennessee. Right? That's where the argument should happen. It shouldn't be, we've artificially promoted teams because of where their initial perception was out. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Does everybody get what I'm putting down? And I know this is still going, so we're still waiting. So you can see kind of why this is a big deal, why the polls from week 1 to week 6 make a huge difference. Because if you are not Miami, if you are Vandy, if you are Utah, each one of you guys should be rated in your own sphere. And in my opinion, being in a conference, playing a conference schedule is more difficult than being independent. And there's no argument that strength of schedule and strength of record are not as high as BYU's, right? But what they lean into is their good losses. Good losses were invented last year to prop Boise State up. There should not be a thing as a good loss. If you look at all these ones that say week new, and I'm looking at them, you guys can read them. Track those and tell me if you think I did a pretty good job. I picked those based on whether the team won or lost and where they were in their conferences. So if you track that all the way over, I think in the new column, I think I did a pretty good job for week 6, for week 9. I think I did a pretty good job for week 14. They're not actually that far off, are they? The only one that breaks the cycle, and why this matters, is Notre Dame breaks the wheel. Y'all know what that means. Everything they do sort of upsets the delicate balance. And that's what's going on right now. The ACC might not get a regular team in. The champion might not get in. That is a possibility, which would then leave Miami a chance to come in as an at-large. But Miami can't come in because Notre Dame's got potentially one of the only spots that's left. So who could lose this weekend? Oklahoma plays LSU. They could lose. Notre Dame plays nobody. I don't know who Ole Miss plays. South Carolina, maybe? I don't remember. Oregon has to play Washington. At least it's a rivalry game. Texas A&M plays Texas. There's another opportunity, right? It's just broken. And then the last thing I want to call out, and then I'll take your comments. We'll go through this together because I respect each one of you. Whether you agree with what I'm saying or not, at least you're listening to me. I appreciate that. Texas is the highest 3-loss team. So the first 3-loss team is 16. Does everybody get? Let me say that slower. The highest 3-loss team is 16. What does that mean? It means the top 15 all are 10-2 or better. 15 teams have the potential to be 10 or better. Right now they're 9 or better. But they could be 10 and better tomorrow. Or, well, whenever, tonight and next week. And if they go 10-0, that has never happened before. We've had polls that have gone 7, 8, 9 deep. I remember back in the day, it used to happen a lot, where you'd have teams that, were 10-2. Actually, it was like 10-1. We were playing 11 games then. And everybody pretty much played the same schedule. Now everything's so unbalanced that now you have to really call out what you think is good and what you think is bad, and then try to draw attention to it so you can be an activist and help people understand what their opinion is, which it might not be mine. So Texas is the first 3-loss team. There's 15 teams that don't play each other that could all end up 10-2 or better. Never happened before, and it could stay there. That top 15 can stay at 10 or better in wins. Now tell me we don't need an expanded playoff. Now tell me 16 doesn't work. Now tell me 24 doesn't work. Because I will tell you right now, you go the top 24 in this, you go 24 deep, you got games that people will watch. University of North Texas and James Madison, they're doing great for where they're at. They would probably be a lower seed in home games if you were doing 24, but people would watch these games. Who's going to watch Texas at 16 will end up playing, I don't know, is it SMU? No, it's top 15. No, it wouldn't be. It's these 8. My bad. UVA and UVA would be playing whoever 8 is. Oklahoma, no, 9. Alabama. People will watch these games, guys. It's complete BS that people say we don't need an expanded playoff. It's garbage. And I've said it to everybody. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but people will watch these games. And I would rather watch these games than the guy on the shelf bowl in Tempe, Arizona. And it's bowl game qualifier 6-6 and 6-6. Who wants to watch that crap when you can make this part of the bowl games? All these guys playing games, make them part of the bowl game process. But just so everybody knows, Notre Dame is the number one target right now, and there's a reason for it. It's not like everybody's in love with Miami. I can attest to that. As a remote Miami appreciator, yeah, I get how people are maybe a little upset at Miami, but they shouldn't be. Everybody, the entire college football world needs to force change on Notre Dame because their access, not only is it superior access, but because we have these early paradigm-setting rounds of voting in the polls, artificially bounced up. And now Notre Dame is definitely taking a spot that would go to a Big 12 second or an ACC first. Yeah. So that's my rant. I hope I made it clear. I was trying to be very clear and concise. I think I did a pretty good job. I practiced that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to your comments. It still hasn't started yet. I cannot believe it. Let's do this. Okay, I don't need to be that big. Let's see if I can get, there's an in-between one, I thought. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to work backwards. There he is. This is the guy. Shows up at the end of the day. It isn't their spot, Rich. It is not their spot. If they don't start here week 1, which shouldn't even be a poll, there's no way they get back into the top 10 by only beating who they're beating. Utah would be ahead of them. Miami would be ahead of them. BYU should be ahead of them. You can make an argument that Vanderbilt could be ahead of them. Anybody in the top 15 only has 2 losses. The math doesn't math. So I get what you're saying, and I know you're upset about it, but you can't argue with the fact that they started at a place and they're ending at a place that was artificially built up because we had polls in the first 5 weeks. That's my opinion. I'm going to be opening the phone lines as soon as the stupid college football playoff picks are done. And you can call in and let's argue for a bit. But I, as passionate as you are, I'm passionate, and I took the time to put a presentation together to explain exactly why I'm passionate. It's just not made up crap. The Notre Dame love is ridiculous. I don't know how everybody isn't piling on them, to be perfectly frank. Okay, let's work backwards now. Sean, valuable member of the College Football Mafia family, says your mark needs to promote the Big 12 teams to start higher in the preseason. Brett Yormark, have you noticed, has disappeared since last week. You know why? And you're talking to a very frustrated Big 12 fan who has been nothing but a supporter. He only cares about basketball. It's very evident. He's in the basketball days, and he's not doing remotes for football. He's not going to the college game days and stuff. He's not showing out, and it's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing at a very high level. By the way, since I am working backwards through comments, if you want your comment to be read, make it a super chat, and I get all those. We're well over 1,000 comments, well over 1,000. So I'm going to pick and choose. I definitely usually defer to member comments, so you can become a member, and I defer to those comments too. But if you want your comment to absolutely be read, and you don't want to call in, make it a super chat, and we'll talk. I'll give you time. Let me make sure I didn't miss any while I was doing this. Nope, Earl Carr owned the first half of the show. There we go. Huffer Billy Paw. I love that name. That's fantastic. Good to have you here, Huffer Billy Paw. Make sure you subscribe and follow and all that fun stuff. Love to have you here. We do stuff like this all the time. Notre Dame is G5 essentially. Well, I'm not going to go deep into Notre Dame's schedule, but if you compare the schedules, strength of schedules, BYU, as an exemplar, has a much more difficult schedule than Notre Dame does. Just playing 2 outlier teams who only one of them really showed out for the season, that should not get you anything, to be honest. Utah, Miami, Vanderbilt, Michigan, Alabama, Oklahoma should all be above, all of them above Notre Dame. And it's all because of that first week bias. You can see it right there. First week actual. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. All right. It's good to have you here, Huff. Thank you very much. The other guy, Gax, Daniel. Good to have you here. Daniel knows the trick. If you use my name in your comment, I generally will read it. It's a trick. Bomber, we talked about the Notre Dame bias for years. Nothing will change. I know. I'm just calling attention to it. I know it won't change, Daniel. But this stuff, because this isn't BYU raising the stink, most of this is Miami fans. And should be Utah fans too. I don't know why Utah fans aren't freaking out too. They played a much more difficult schedule than Notre Dame was. Rich, aren't you? Why don't you stand up for Utah instead of defending Notre Dame? Unless maybe you do have a connection to Notre Dame, and I don't know about it. And if so, I apologize. But if you're just a Utah fan, you don't have to bend over for the Big Ten and the SEC. You can hammer Notre Dame. There's no reason not to do it. Rich says, because we are ranked properly. That's really interesting. So you like being behind Notre Dame. Okay. I guess there's not much else to say. Clint Moses, good to have you here, Clint. He is the Oregon State Beaver in the house. BYU's played one good team, got their doors blown off. Okay, it wasn't that bad. You guys keep making this thing look like it was a complete play. Utah lost by more points than BYU did. So just stop. Clint, just stop. That is factually not true. Anyway, let's see here. I already did that one. I'm going to go by here more. Miami from Huffer Billy Paw. Miami's getting hosed if Notre Dame gets in and Miami doesn't. Notre Dame plays one less game too than two conference teams. Yes, that's why I always default to championships. So my first pick would be whatever your schedule, whatever your rank is. 10-2, 11-1, whatever your final record is. Second thing I'd look at is championships. Did you win a championship of some sort? And then head-to-head would be my next one. And head-to-head trumps brand bias and everything else. But that's not going to be, that's not real. Larry, the GM, good to have you here, Larry. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I choose to believe that the CFP committee does a thorough job and is not corrupt. Okay. Absolutely have every right to do that. I am not knocking people for doing that. If they're protecting them or they feel like they're really strong about that, I totally support what you're doing. Sorry, I had to get that one clicked. Good to see you, Larry. Let's see. One more from Larry. Sorry. One more from Larry. If your team goes undefeated playing all G6 teams, you are not the number one team in the country. Sorry. I didn't say that, Larry. That's not what I said. I said there's no such thing as a good loss. You can't go forward by losing. And that's what Notre Dame has done. They've leveraged losses to two teams, one of them who turned out to be very, very bad. And they're leveraging that and making it so it's a bonus. They're flipping it around. And nobody else can do that, so why do they get to do it? Anyway. This, I don't know. I don't even know what this means. You said that on Twitter. Rich, I don't know what that means. I'm looking at it from, I want more bowl games because I love bowl games. Not bowl games. I want more playoff games. I think it makes the season more important. You can play more out of conference games. If you have more teams in a playoff, you don't worry about losing that one, losing that other. If you play an out of conference game, it's not going to kill you because you have a conference to build up your schedule. It would encourage people to play out of conference games. Right now, out of conference games are going to disappear because when you play those out of conference games, they're not being rewarded doing it. Go Black 45, one of the best names on social media. I appreciate it. Good to have him here. If the 12 only gets one, the presidents might force Yormark to take the two auto bids. He's talking about the 4422 playoff format, LSU has to find an offense to score more than 13 points against a G5 team first, Bomber. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying, yeah, LSU's not going to beat. Is it Oklahoma? No, that's not going to happen. Stephen Vitt, about rankings, that sounds like a max tiebreaker system. Yeah, all of this that you've got up in front of you, I am trying to eliminate going 12 layers deep into people's schedules to do. If you lost to you and I lost to you, but they played each other, all this gymnastics, this is very straightforward. If you win, you go up. If you lose, you go down. Same record, that's when you can start comparing head-to-heads, championships, and then strength of record, whatever else you want to do. Pretty straightforward. Earl Carr, breaking news, Cowboys hire Morris, former North Texas coach, as their new head coach per ESPN. I didn't realize they fired their head coach. Did I miss that? Okay. Yeah, heard it here first. I didn't know that they'd even gotten rid of their coach. You need the schedule of these teams to make a better argument, Bomber. I'm not going that deep. That wasn't the purpose of this exercise. The purpose of this exercise is to show people that the first 5 weeks and the preseason polls, no matter what you want to say about them, definitely dictate the way the rest of the season goes. And at the end of the day, it dictates who makes the CFP. I'm not going to get into people's schedules head-to-head and all that. I mean, anything that isn't head-to-head championships and total wins, I'm not going to get into it. I don't really have. I just don't care, to be honest. Larry the GM, what does Notre Dame deserve to be rated now? And were pollsters wrong for not dumping them? Seems like they were right. In what way? Larry, how have they justified it? Just winning regular games does not justify continuing to climb like you're beating world beaters every week. Look at their schedule. Beating Navy by 900 points should not be something you can put on a resume to move up. I just think that's ridiculous. So let's see here. Stephen Vitt earlier said preseason AP and coaches polls are all pointless and continue to be. Yeah, well, get rid of the first 5 weeks. Start week 6, and then I will buy into your CFP. That would be a much bigger deal than anything. So that's how I look at it. Now, let's circle back. I'm going to take this off here. Let's quickly talk about what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. Do a quick reset. Oh, here we go. $5 super chat. Another one from Earl. He's feeling it tonight. Thank you, Earl. Thank you so much. Valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. Says, my bad. Cowboys hire Morris, current North Texas coach, to replace Gundy. Oh, Cowboys meaning thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, Cowboys, he's not talking about the Cowboys. He's talking about Oklahoma State. Okay. Hire North Texas coach. That's okay. He's a good coach. What he's done at North Texas has been impressive, for sure. Thanks for clearing that up for me, Earl. Sorry, I was in this other thing. I didn't think about that. Okay. Let's do a quick reset. I know this is going to start off here at some point. I started off with this, and everybody just think about this, and then I'll read your comments, and we'll have conversation about this later too. By the way, I want to say hi to Glenn Hanna popped in. If I can bring him, there he is. Week 6 might have more bias. It might, or it might not. We won't know until we try it. Could it absolutely be a disaster? Yes. But what we're doing now is not working. So yeah, anyway. Okay. So this is my conspiracy theory, and it hasn't happened yet, so it probably won't. But there is an alternate world that says they moved BYU up, specifically BYU. They moved BYU up to 9 or 8. 9 or 8. Okay, thank you, Chris. Well, now we're going to find out. But they moved BYU up just because they know that they have to play Texas Tech. And if they lose again, they'll just drop them out again. Give them an excuse because they were already up there. If you leave them out and BYU's just sitting there and then they sort of jump, it's not jump, but get into the conference championship game and Texas Tech beats them, there's still going to be this gray area that says, well, but they were still in the semifinal, right? They were still in the championship game for the conference. They should get a bonus for that. The easiest way to kill that idea is to let BYU in tonight, right? They're 10-1. Let them in tonight. We're going to win on Saturday. We are going to win on Saturday. I'm projecting and thinking positive. They will be 11-1. They will go to the conference championship game, and hopefully they win. If they win, it's taken care of, right? But if they're left out at 11-2 and don't have them in the poll earlier to try to move them, it might be difficult. So, but if you put them in now, 8-9 now, you move them up and then you just drop them again if they lose. So it's possible that could happen. I'm not saying it will, but that came to me in my sleep last night and it's been bugging me all day. So I could see them doing something like that. It's way schemy, but it's very smart. Let's see here. Earl Carr gave another gifted membership. Earl is on it tonight. Cowboys hire a new coach, and Earl's happy about that. That's awesome. Let's see here. T-Bucks02 received a gift membership. T-Bucks02, make sure you give Earl Carr a shout out in the comment section. Anybody who's got a new comment, gotten a new membership from Earl, please do me a favor. Give him a shout out in the comment section because it's really unselfish and good things will come to you, Earl. I believe in karma. Anybody else want to give and receive karma, good karma, you can also give gifts. Next to the comment box, just hit the little dollar bill icon and it'll walk you through it. So yeah, almost an hour. So everybody knows I moved this back. Moen told me it was supposed to be going for sure at 7. And yeah, it's looking like it'll be closer to 8 than 7. I don't know what else to do with that. Yeah, I already shouted that out. Let's see here. Yeah, BR, where have you been, brother? BR joins the show. Good to see you, BR. I've missed you. I know Oklahoma State's had a tough go, but we've missed you around here. I have. Go Pokes, new head coach. Yep, you got your guy. That North Texas guy's good. How quickly can he adjust? That's the biggest. Can he recruit? That's the biggest deal. But it's good to see you, BR. You've been missed. Let's see here. Rich Austin says, no way. BYU should be around 12 or 13. They're not going to be 12 or 13 either. They're probably going to be 11 again because nobody lost ahead of them. So that's the only way BYU moves up like organically is this weekend if people lose. Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to be a big deal. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Kyo 187. Good to have you here. I'm just reading new comments, trying to get to everybody. Hey, Bomber. I always like your topics. Miami and Notre Dame are faking it, and I like both of them. That's funny. The only school that is holding their own is Alabama. It's true. Alabama has been, yes. Alabama's fighting hard. It's true. Kaio, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the nice words. I really appreciate them. I take them to heart. Seriously. BR has become a new member again. He's really an OG member. He's been a member from the very beginning. It's been tough to be a Oklahoma State fan. I feel that. Yeah, I can sympathize, brother. It sucks. So it's good to have you back. You've been missed. Earl Carr, another $5 super chat. When it comes to BYU and the CFP, I don't trust CFP, especially with Harlan on the committee. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit. Mark Harlan, the AD for Utah, was put on the committee by Brett Yormark. That none of that reasoning will ever make sense to me for many, many reasons. I find it very hard to believe, almost impossible to believe, he's not influencing the world against a certain team. I promise you, it's going to make a huge difference. Yeah. Maybe with him there, BYU does go down a point. That is possible. Rich, they could go down because Mark Harlan's there. That could happen. Let's see here. Go Blue. Clay Johansson. Good to see you, man. Michigan representing. Michigan is currently at 15. You guys beat Ohio State. I'm almost positive you're going to be in the playoff. So go beat Ohio State. Get in the playoff. Pretty much that simple. Let's see here. Huffer Belly Paw. There we go. I was pulling for BYU and Utah to upset the playoff picture this year. Utah stubbed their toe and lost to the best two teams in the Big 12. It happens. Can't get a championship game unless a disaster in the world happens. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. It was nice to have them up in the poll. Having them both good has been fantastic around here. It's really engaging. People are following all the news. But, yeah, it's yeah, I don't know what to say about where we're going to be. Joseph Kerlegan Jr. says BYU will be in the CFP when they win the Big 12. Notre Dame needs to stop using clout to get into the CFP. Well, that won't happen. Joseph Kerlegan, that will not happen. They will never drop their advantage, which is unique. They have an advantage nobody else in the country does. FF18 Buffs, that's Fergie, representing the University of Colorado Buffaloes. Says, evening bomber, sorry I missed the start. We'll rewatch. Big 12 is losing ground in every possible metric. Must get TTU and BYU into the CFP, and then they must win games. Good hire by OSU. Yep, new head coach. I can't remember his name. If you just joined in this, new head coach at the University of Oklahoma State. I said that weird. New coach. That was the head coach at University of North Texas. Very lauded, and people love him. So I think he's good. People are starving for success at Oklahoma State. He's going to get every resource, even stuff probably Gundy wasn't able to get back in with NIL and whatnot. So I don't think Oklahoma State's going to be down too long. I don't think the committee is corrupt. I chalk it up to incompetency. Okay. Can't say much to that. Yeah, I mean, you may be right. I know this. Playoff committee of any type should not include people who work for any universities. They should all be retirees or professional evaluators of some sort. Have nothing to do with universities. This intertwinedness of the universities and the ADs and the schools, it's ripe for corruption. Just sitting there waiting to be corrupted. Earl Card, another $2 super chat, says Eric Morris is his name. So his name is Eric Morris, new coach at Oklahoma State University. Oh, my gosh. I didn't want to talk this much tonight. Here we go. Yeah, BYU's 11. So I just missed it. BYU's 11. They didn't go anywhere. Miami passed Utah. That is not a surprise, everybody. Not a surprise. Utah went down, and it's because they had that knockdown drag out with Kansas State. Kansas State came to play. Miami looked better. So that's where that comes, and they just took it off my screen there. Miami, Utah, Vanderbilt is 14, and 15 is Michigan. I'm going to scroll back and give me more here. Give me more. I'm trying to get to the first. It started without refreshing. That's really stupid. Come on, guys. Okay. 20. Let me see if I can get back to 25. Okay. Really quick. Arizona climbs. Arizona's in it, everybody. That's really good because Arizona and Arizona State play this weekend. That's really good. Let's see. Dang it. Go back. There we go. SMU's 21. Pittsburgh is 22. Georgia Tech is 23. And on this list I was using, Georgia Tech was 23. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Tulane, and then Arizona, who's new. So Arizona State are both in the top 25. Then Texas is 16, USC, Virginia, Tennessee, and Arizona State, who's got 3 losses. Then we jump ahead. I already gave you the next one. Let's see, Michigan, Vanderbilt, Utah, Miami, and then BYU. Then they go Alabama. Notre Dame is 9, and where were they? They were 9, so they don't go anywhere either. Oklahoma. Keep going. This was I was expecting earlier. Oklahoma. Ole Miss is 7. Ole Miss went down. Ole Miss was 6 before? Yes. So they took out Ole Miss, and probably they made that Texas Tech, right? It would have to be Texas Tech. Ole Miss is 10-1, the first 10-1 on the board. This should be up to speed here. Go live. Oregon is 6. So where was Oregon? Oregon was 5. So now Texas Tech is 5. Right? So Texas Tech went up 2 spots. If this stays like this. Yep, Texas Tech is 5. So that's it, everybody. That's the new order. It has changed. The new order has changed. Texas Tech goes up 2. Ole Miss and Oregon both go down 1. Oklahoma, then Alabama, then Notre Dame. Vanderbilt was in there. Vanderbilt was in at 12. And then you get Miami, Utah, was expecting that. And then down the line. Michigan's in there too. So that's it. We can't get much more live than that. They did the rankings almost identical to what I have, except for I don't have the Texas Tech shift. And the rest of it I got right. So Notre Dame and Texas Tech, the biggest movers. Here's the Tulane, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Miami, Oregon, and Alabama, Ole Miss. And then they lead to the Georgia, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Indiana in that order. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun stuff. Miami jumps in because evidently they're representing the ACC. So Miami jumped in, everybody. And if you're surprised by that, you shouldn't be. Miami's been polling. Miami's been out doing the work to get put in the playoff. They jumped BYU. Why? Because they have to have the ACC represented. And for some reason, they can pick, I guess, whoever they want. I thought they have a championship game coming up. Miami's probably not going to be in that game. The playoff committee just put Miami in that spot. So you hear that? Hear that, ACC fans? Miami's been put in. Whoever was going to go in from possibly Virginia, Pitt, whoever wins the ACC, looks to me like the playoff committee is going to take Miami over all of them because they're God mode. They can do whatever they want. They don't answer to anybody. Gosh dang. There's nothing we can do about it either. Nothing we can do about it. It's yeah, it is. Look, it is what it is. Everybody knew it was going to be like this. You're hoping that they change. You're hoping they get proactive and they do things. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I told everybody I'd be here for 2 hours. I've been here for 1. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Let's see here. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Let me put my phone number in there. And you guys can call in. There are going to be some rules. For one thing, if you guys think I need to dump somebody because they're, trying to pull something or whatnot, in the comments, just hit dump. And if it's overwhelming and I'm underwhelmed, I will cut you off. I have that right because it's my thing. So don't be an ass if you're going to call in. I'll listen to you, but you can disagree without being disagreeable is all I'm saying. What else do I want to say? Rules. We'll try to keep them short. I'll let you get your comment out. I might ask you a question or two, and then we'll move on to the next one. I think we have 200 people watching right now. It's going to be a busy evening. So let's try to get through as many calls as we can. I will tell you right now, if you're on X, Twitter, and you want to be involved in this show, go over to the College Football Mafia page on YouTube, watch us there, and then call in and let's talk. 801, 801-899-6203. Let's just get it on. I don't know what else to say. If nobody calls in, we go for 15. Nobody else wants to talk. We'll just cut it short and everybody can have some time in their day back. But I'm hoping you guys all get involved and want to call in. All right, so I'm going to open up phone lines now. And okay, phone lines are open. Call in, and we'll try to get through as many of these as we can. What's this comment here while we're waiting? Sorry for being...
Call from
Daniel.
Daniel the Gygax. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, everybody in the comments, can you guys hear Daniel? Put your hand up. Want to make sure you can hear. Go ahead, Daniel. What's on your mind?
Okay, to ensure the Big 12 is going to get the two teams in, everybody has to cheer for Stanford, Mississippi State, and Auburn this weekend. That'll give Notre Dame a third loss. That'll give Ole Miss a third loss, and that'll give Alabama a third loss.
Well, and Oklahoma plays LSU, don't they? Who does Oklahoma play?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
No, Oklahoma played LSU last weekend. Hold on, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oklahoma has to beat somebody too, and Texas A&M and Texas. If Texas A&M gets blown out.
Yeah, Oklahoma does have LSU this weekend, and
so that's a game too.
I watched a little bit of that LSU Western Kentucky game, and
yeah,
LSU doesn't look good. But here's the thing: we've talked about it for years. The voters, they go by the name on the front of the jerseys. They always have. They always will. And then they look over and they see what the ranking is. It's going to be that way as long as we have this system. The problem is, even with the computers, the biggest computer one that you have is the FPI. And I don't know who put that FPI together. I don't know how it's programmed, but it is a mess. And I don't want the FPI determining who's in the playoffs.
You know what? I think, unfortunately, because they won't reveal how they're making those selections. We know strength of record and strength of schedule doesn't count, even though that's what they begged to have last year. They're not picking them because the schools that have met those criteria, rightly so, but they're not being rewarded for it. So it doesn't really go anywhere. Let me ask you directly about Miami. How do you feel about them getting in the ACC spot and not cock blocking? Who was it? The American and the Sun Belt or whatever those other two conferences are?
Well, somebody from the ACC is going to be in. I do not see them leaving the ACC out.
Miami's technically not going to be the champion. They can pick whoever they want.
I don't. Well,
I mean, that's honestly what's going on, right?
I remember Rock on his show. He was showing what it would take for Miami to get into the ACC championship game. I don't remember the whole matrix on it, but it was it was a lot of other teams losing and the probability on it is fairly low.
Yeah, I don't even get. Yeah.
I mean, right now, Big 12, it's pretty well set with Texas Tech and BYU in.
Well, not
in the Big 12
in
championship
the Big 12
game.
championship game. But
Yeah.
if they don't do something different with Tech, if BYU beats them, they might drop out.
Now, I was going to bring up last year, they had 11-1 SMU, and
Yes.
they lost to Clemson in the ACC championship game.
Yes.
Let's say the same thing happens. Everybody, you got two 11-1 teams. BYU wins it.
Yeah.
Is Tech out? I think that they'll keep Tech in.
I hope. I think there is a future, especially with Miami taking that spot that for the ACC. Everybody's fighting over Notre Dame spot. Now everybody's fighting over where Miami's at, but you can't affect it. I comment here from Ed Wayner. Good to have you here, Ed. Thank you so much. Valuable member of the College Football Mafia family. BYU beats Texas Tech in conference title game. Both BYU and Texas Tech in the CFP. If Texas Tech beats BYU, in my opinion, only Texas Tech gets in the CFP. That's hard to argue. Texas Tech gets in no matter what, since they are ranked number 5 and won't be dropped that much. So that's the insulation. That's what I was talking about before they did to move him up, right? If you take him from 7 and put him at 5, it's almost impossible to keep him out.
That's correct.
Right? Yeah, I agree with you. And I agree with you, Ed. I think that's exactly what they did. Yeah.
And Ed's probably happy that Navy might end up getting that AAC championship game. They got Memphis this weekend. Huh?
Nothing. I just this conversation around Miami is going to be. I mean, look, it's the ACC. They make up their own rules.
Yes.
But the wording is it's the champion that gets the spot.
Correct.
So is the champion the team that's the best, or is the champion the team that makes it through and wins a championship game? Because right now they're saying
I don't know.
Miami's going to be in no matter what. That's what they're saying. If Miami doesn't play that extra game, they're going to be rewarded just like Notre Dame is.
I don't think Miami's in. It's going to be whoever wins that almost said AAC. ACC championship game gets the guaranteed bid.
So you're telling me you think Miami's there only for 5 minutes after the championship game? I think that they're a placeholder because the ACC is such a mess that we don't know who's going to win that yet. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I can see that. One last comment, and then I'll let you go. Bulls fan, where have you been? USF, man, up and down. I want to cheer for USF so bad. It's the 5 highest ranked conference champions. I think the committee ranking SMU is them trying to hedge their bets to make sure the ACC champ gets in. So the news is going to be interesting to see how that's reported. If they are just in there because they don't have to worry about the ACC champion, then fine. That's where they're at. But if they're in there to stay, then you're basically saying whoever wins that championship game doesn't matter. They've picked the brand.
Yeah.
Okay. Just so the world knows, if it was up to me, I would pick Miami too. I'm just being perfectly transparent. I think they deserve to be in the playoff. They just got to quit losing games during the middle of the season.
Miami has the resume to get in, but the biggest problem is they're now. I heard the words quality loss.
I know.
Reference to Notre Dame, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
No, they're not kidding, and it's not going away.
Okay.
I appreciate it, Daniel. Thank you so much. Great to have you. That is Daniel V. Gygax. Thank you so much, Danny. He contributes around here, does a weekly little 1-minute video each week. Tune in for that. He puts it on Twitter. It's on YouTube, and they're a lot of fun. Daniel puts in time. He writes a script. Take it very seriously because he's come a long way. We appreciate him around here. Let's see here. B-Rad 3013. New people watching right now. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. If you're on X and want to be part of the show, jump over to YouTube and go to College Football Mafia. We'll pop up. and let's talk. Heard it here first. BYU and Tech conspiracy. BYU needed to lose to Tech to push Tech to the top. Now they'll let BYU win, so they both get in. I would love that. I would love that. It's not going to happen, but I would love that. No, right now Texas Tech has a home game in the first round. I don't think they want to go anywhere. I think they're happy at 5. So I will be shocked. BYU is going to be a different team than they were the first time. I know it's not going to be like that game, but I don't know what it's going to look like, to be perfectly frank. I don't know. Yeah, Tony Lawson. Good to have you here, Tony. It's been a minute. All these people coming back because their team's not so great this year, but you enjoy the channel and enjoy the shows. We appreciate you, Tony. Thank you so much. James Madison gets no respect. Why don't you guys call in and let's talk? I forgot to pump that up. 801-899-6203. Did it? Take it off let me check the banner. It's supposed to have it on there. I apologize if it's not been saying the phone number. No, it's right. So right there, comments. Join the show live. 801-899-6203. Call in and let's talk. I just want to make sure that number was still there. I wish the college football playoff would provide a group of teams from 26 to 30 as well. I know that James Madison and North Texas fans are upset. I'm rooting for BYU to put 60 on UCF this weekend as well. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. And I'm always cheering for USF, but thank you. We'll do what we can with UCF. BYU's, this is not last year's BYU. So, yeah, let's just keep going. Glenn Hanna, Texas Tech played 6-loss UCF and stomped them. That's better than Oregon beating USC. Yeah, exactly. Let me get back here, make sure I'm not missing anything. Fergie says, sorry for being such a dumpster fire bomber. That he's talking about Colorado. That close Colorado game is looking worse and worse. Reset coming, staff and approach. Juju redshirting for long-term benefit. Well, good for you, Fergie. Shut him down. Come back to fight another day. That's what I would say. That's just be positive. That's all you can do. If you want to join the show, feel free to leave your comments. They're all free. I try to get to as many as I can. I'd rather talk to you. 801-899-6203. Call in right now. If people aren't calling in for the next 50 minutes, we're going to cut the show short. It's okay. It's okay. It's just people don't want to talk. That's fine. Troll grinding, cheap clapper, one of the best social media names ever. Only thing I want to see, if the Crimson Alabama, Crimson Tide to drift off into the ocean and not the CFP, and hope that Notre Dame loses their first CFP game by so many points, it'll haunt the descendants of current Notre Dame fans. In the past, that's happened. In championship games, that's happened, and it didn't do anything for them. So unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen that way. But thank you, Troll Grinding Cheek Clapper. It's good to see you here. Been around a long time at the College Football Mafia. Here it is. Look at Earl Carr doing another 5 memberships to the College Football Mafia family. Thank you so much, Earl. I appreciate you. Been with us since the beginning. Thank you, sir. 5 new memberships go to Zacky Wacky, Daryl Harlow, the Architect, who I've seen before. Good to see Architect. That's been a minute. Jose and KSU Fan Man. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you thank Earl Carr for those free memberships, and then get involved. Jump on our YouTube page and watch the member videos. There's a bunch of them, and they're all worth it. They last forever. So do that after my show. When you're in the car, when you're in the shower, put it on your speaker. And our videos are fantastic. Just saying. Realignment, business of college football, everything. We have it all covered. And I already shouted out who had them. So thank you again, Earl. Really appreciate it. Let's see. That's really, really, really cool. I don't know, not any more comments. Let's see. If you're just getting here late, the first hour of the show, I started at 7 p.m. Eastern time. First part of the show for an hour, I went over an alternate reading of the CFP rankings based on if there was no week 1 through week 5 polls. We started week 6. Everybody goes up from there or drops from there. It's worth it. I did it for an hour, answered questions. Might not agree with me, but there's some logic in what I'm saying. And right now, the conferences just being used like rag dolls are the ACC and the Big 12. So, yeah. Let's see. Is there any other comments I haven't got to here? Yeah. Huffer Billy Pot, ACC champ, not getting in the playoffs. Well, that's just today. Next week they may revert. We don't know, but it is odd that Miami's in there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's see. Any other comments? You guys are all commented out, huh? That's okay. Well, if nobody wants to call in, 801-899-6203, and there's no new comments, I guess you guys are commented out, and I'm not going to take advantage of your time. I appreciate everybody being here in these evenings. It's a lot of fun for me. Make sure you follow on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And do everything you can to become a member of the College Football Mafia family. You really ingratiate yourself with the team, not us, with the other viewers. We got the best sort of biosphere in all social media, people watching on YouTube. We have the smartest, nicest people in this room. And right now there's 240 of you watching. So I appreciate every one of you. I'm going to tell you one last time, follow me on Twitter. You can see my Twitter names there. In fact, wait a second. I need to fix that. Give me 1 second. In case you didn't catch it, I added a tag. To my Twitter name. Oh, that's not where I do it. Sorry. Where do I change that at? It's down here. Where did I put that? I'll get to it somewhere. It's not at B12 Mafia anymore. It's at Bomber, BOMB 3R _ Big 12 Mafia. I will change it. I'm sorry. I forgot. Wonder if it'll let me change it here. Give me 1 second here. Avatar name. There we go. _ Because that's who I am. I am Bomber, otherwise known as Big 12 Mafia. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. It's been a lot of fun. I look forward to doing this show. I put it together very quickly, but it turned out to be very, very good. And you guys are fantastic. And I just want you to know that everything you do for us, we really appreciate. And last but not least, tomorrow we are doing our early picks for Thanksgiving. Tomorrow night, right here, I believe we're starting at 8 Eastern. Watch the channel, watch our Twitter feeds. But I think it's going to be 8 Eastern, and it should be a lot of fun. Moen did like 20 or 30 games to pick, and so it should be a lot of fun. Dallas Marquez, thank you for being here. I want to recognize you. Thanks for showing up tonight. Good night to you too, sir. One last chance, 801-899-6203. Going. Gone. Okay, let's get it then. Everybody stay out of trouble, okay? Thanks, Earl. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you watching right now. Do me a favor, if you're new around here, subscribe, follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know how we did. Feedback on our videos. It's all a lot of fun, and we do it all for you. You guys stay out of trouble, okay? Appreciate you. Go Cougs.